next person is also a good friend of mine, a very good well-wisher, and he is Vipul Dave. Vipul Dave is from Cosmo Films. He is CHRO of Cosmo Films, and I request him to start the session, give a little introduction about himself very quickly and about the speaker, and then get into the session. Vipul.
Thank you, Mehul. Pleasure working with you and World HRD Congress team. I welcome all the HR fraternity. It is interesting that Mehul, you decided to celebrate your 25 Jubilee, Silver Jubilee feelings and this by dedicated to HR fraternity. Thank you so much. I think not only you have connected the world together, but HR fraternity will be thanking you for arranging a wonderful session across various topics and various international speakers. I have the pleasure of introducing next our international speaker from Zimbabwe, Dr. Philimon Chitagu. He is Director, Human Resource Administration, SWAPE Holdings, Africa Limited, Zimbabwe. Dr. Philimon is a well-known, those who have been regular at World HRD Congress, he's been rewarded, acknowledged, and is very commonly seen as an international speaker. He's master in social scorecard system, certified CHR professional. He is doctorate from Africa, and he is an international figure who has been recognized over HR forums and World HRD Congress. International speaker with a repute of bringing diversity in his topics. He has hold government jobs and now currently holding a very important position at SWAPES of Zimbabwe, and also acting as a group manager, CAPS India Holding Limited, CAPS Holdings Private Limited. He is also acting principal executive officer, government education, Masvigo. Welcome, Dr. Philimon. It's pleasure having to you. Over to you, and have a wonderful session.
Thank you so much, Mehul, for the nice introduction. And I want to congratulate Grace Sales and the World HRD for putting in place this international human resources conference. This is indeed taking place at a time where the world has been impacted by the COVID-19. And this is also the time where we expect human resources to step up and come up with the policies and procedures that sustains the operations in every business. So the first slide is basically about Zimbabwe. This is the eastern part of Zimbabwe. And after the COVID, you are all invited. Now, when we are in a crisis situation, we have to fasten our belts and make sure that we take the organization in the right direction, as much as we also make sure that the employees are safe. So we are all aware that it is said the virus originated from Wuhan and then spread to all parts of the world. Now, what is also important is that when the virus hits the world, there are fundamental changes that happens at the workplace. The workplace arrangements has all been altered, and previously we're not even aware of situations like working from home. But when the virus hit the world, the workplace arrangements were altered, and other issues which were also created through COVID were the opportunities, as other people were seeing negativity in the virus. There were also some positive opportunities coming out of there. Instead of having all your workforce at one place, the workplace, as we are talking right now, has been decongested. So it's also an opportunity to reposition the organization currently and in the future. Now, when the virus hit the world, a number of things happened. The sales went down, profit also went down, and the staff morale went down. And these are all the issues which affect all the organization. Was you also look at a situation where if you were a CEO and then say, what are those things that would occupy your mind? Obviously, you need to look around the people. Are they happy? Do I have the right people to take me as far as we would want as an organization? And do you also have profit for the organization? So in terms of my focus is only to look at the agility for business continuity and success in a crisis situation. So as leaders, when you are hit by a crisis, you need to make quick decisions. You need to commit resources when sure about the results. You also need to keep everyone racing. This is very key. And at times, the agility also resonates well with the change management process. When we are hit by a crisis, you realize that some of the countries and even organizations remained in shock, denial, anger, and blame games. Some started bargaining to move forward. But the biggest challenge we've noticed is that the rate of depression and confusion is very high across the entire world. And we've heard even great leaders pronouncing certain negativities around this issue around COVID. So instead of moving on and start solving the problem, you remain in the pit. And it is said that when you are in a pit, stop digging. Because if you continuously dig when you are in a pit, you are sinking yourself. So this is an unfortunate situation that we are seeing certain organizations and the countries in. Now, what do employees really want when we are in a COVID situation or a crisis? The first thing is that they need to show direction. You need to make sure that the expectations are very clear, the expected results are also communicated, and you also put shareholder investment to good use. Then as you also look at the focus for the business, as much as we are looking into long term, in a crisis situation, it's not like that. You have to look at short term, which are quick to sort of win. You need to look into the medium. And as the situation normalizes, you also need to go back to your long-term solutions. So avoid noodling and doodling as a focus on business benefits and focus. Now, the other thing is that time is actually running out. We need to make sure that we do things seamlessly, be nimble-footed in terms of decisions, because this is what is going to take your company from one place to another. As you also race the journey, you need to make sure that you check the speedometer, or else you don't have enough fuel to last you the journey. Then never sleep a deadline. Agile leaders rally their teams around the projects. The coronavirus is brought other dimensions, which are also very key. The environment is not going to be to normalize anytime soon. And we need to make sure that as organizations, as HR, we lead our people and give direction as far as these issues are concerned. Now, there have been some discussions around working from home. So what you then do now is going to determine the future of your organization. You need to talk to your teams regularly. We are all aware that there have been WhatsApp groups. Let's use those WhatsApp groups to connect with our individual members. We need to do some check-in, some feedback, some coaching, and also virtual training is very key. Predecessor presenters also alluded to this same issue. At times, you have read in the press that so many companies have retrenched employees. But want to pose a question and say, what type of organization will you be looking at in future? Because as much as you want to retrench to manage costs, yes, it might be the right way to do, but always remember that you are leaving scars in the organization. There are scars for employees who are remaining in the organization, and there are also scars for employees who are leaving the organization. So as you do that process, also show a human face. The ideal situation would be to swim together and cross the Zambezi River as a team. Zambezi River, by the way, is a river in the north of Zimbabwe. Now, as you look at the strategy, the people's strategy should be in sync with the organization strategy. What you do to improve the internal capacity will then give you the improved financial results at the end of the day. The need to configure the life cycle of employees is very important. Don't tie your employees, don't chain your employees. We already know that there is a lot of frustration, there is a lot of fear, there is a lot of anxiety. Don't cause more pain when it comes to employees, but make them believe that there is life after COVID. Now, key issues that we need to look at is from the HR's point of view is that what you bring in the organization is what will determine the future of that organization. If you bring in junk, then you can as well forget about productivity at the end of the day. Leadership in performance. This area has also been covered by some colleagues. Let us be very clear about our expectations as it comes to performance management system. It is no longer about ticking the box, but it's now about the results. So the leaders should be focused more on the results than ticking the boxes, because you don't know the extent of the anxiety, the extent of the fear, the extent of the frustrations which your employees are facing because of the COVID situation. Now, this is also related to the issue of performance management. Make sure you build the people for the future. As you build the people for the future, you also need to look at the results. When COVID hit the entire world, the results went down. But there is an opportunity to also turn around the narratives and then move in the right direction for the betterment of the organizations. Then as you look at the agile reward system, it's again very important that we need to be very agile. This is no longer about yesteryear approaches where perhaps the negotiations for the rewards would take about maybe 6 months or take the whole year. Because of the COVID and also other economic factors, you realize that the situation has changed.
Request you to quickly wind up your or make your point in a minute or so in paucity of time. Other colleagues are waiting for presentation. It's an important message that you are driving. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think this is the last the last slide. This is basically about the agility according to Gallup system. What the slide on the left is showing is that almost 50% of the people are not agile when we group it according to the countries. And when you look at the slide on the right, more than 50% of employees believe that their organizations are agile. And the last slide, when COVID is over, you are also invited to visit that place. Otherwise, thank you so much. That's the Victoria Falls in the northern part of Zimbabwe. Thank you so much for the invitations, and I'm enjoying the discussions.
Thank you, Dr. Philimon. Interesting presentation on HR agility. It is important to know that we can mix so much of nature around our presentation and bring about the best concepts together. One of the things I saw, I'll take only one question from the team across webinars, across the locations. Agility, the question which is coming out is agility is our core strength. But one of the important aspects while dealing with agility is focus only on the core activities during the crisis time and not try to do everything and anything. Your views on that, Dr. Philimon?
I think that is a very fair comment and also question. When you are in a crisis situation, as much as you want to pull your resources together, you also need to make sure that the team is focused to achieve the short-term goals. You need to make sure that you entrench the issue of culture in your respective employees. Because even if they are working from home, they are still the brand of your organization. They carry that brand and the vision of the organization.
One thing which I picked up from your presentation was also that during the curve that you showed, in difficult times, it is important that we, be very strict to, as an HR, we play our role from, depression to acceptance, and we have a very important role in connecting with every employee across the organization, across their families, and their understanding their mental health. I think we play a very important role in agile times, and I think that's the way crisis has to be managed. And crisis situations, our crisis will never last long, but it's people who are strong and with a profound, solid background that they and a value system that they can change the crisis to an opportunity business. Cosmo and I saw Swape are also being into essential services. So we are also an organization where we are into essential services, and not only to as an opportunity that you have to run the organization, it is also equally important that you are running the organizations in a crisis situation for continuity of the nation and to the society. I think that's a very good message we are driving across. Thank you, Dr. Philimon. Mehul, over to you, and thank you for having this session.
Thank you so much, and good day, colleagues.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vipul.